you were on the same label as Young Thug.
Yep.
Now tell me about that experience. How'd you get like on that label with him?
So stupid. Oh, I was so stupid. Young Thug has nothing to do with my stupidity. But when I went home, I did the song Questions, and that was the first video that just went viral. And I met up with another YouTuber. I don't care to say his name either. But I met up with another YouTuber. We made an official video. And then he told me, he was like, well, we're gonna wait to drop this on, the plan for Questions was to drop on February, on Valentine's Day. We did the official video in January, but we was planning on dropping it on, in February. And then I couldn't wait that long. So when I got back from out of town, I made Ratchet Girl Anthem. And then old boy called me and was like, we gotta drop the Questions, you're on fire right now. So we dropped the official video, the Questions. And then right when I seen all the fame and all this stuff changing, I told Philip, I was like, yo, do not go out there and start talking to people, because we gotta see how we gonna do this. We gotta talk to somebody, financial advisor, see how you do this stuff. Philip didn't listen, obviously. He didn't listen. And he went and talked to some guys about getting some merchandise made. That's what the initial conversation was supposed to be. I had no idea what was going on. Sitting at home playing the game of Madden, and they come in the house with a big box full of She Ratchet t-shirts. They were great ideas. It was somebody else's idea, but they were great ideas. And I said, well, where did y'all get this from? And, Phil and his friend is super excited. They was like, yo, we met these people, and they said they can do all this stuff for us. They can da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, Phil, didn't I tell you nothing? They said they want to meet with you. They want da-da-da-da. So I'm like, all right, whatever. If they can get this type of stuff done in this amount of time, I'm going to see what they got to say. Met up with them, and they brought out pictures. They brought out, oh, we took this picture of Lil Wayne, and basically they sold us, like they finessed us, you know what I'm saying? And we signed with them, signed a really crappy deal for 4 years. Got with them, and at this
For
time—
how many years?
Huh? 4. 4, yeah.
Okay.
4 years.
It's
Don't
breaking up.
don't look at me like that, all right? We were young and dumb. So we signed it, and we noticed they had Thug on the squad. But I never knew who Young Thug was. But when I met him, this is when he was working on I Came From Nothing 3. And I had did a song with him, and it was pretty dope. And when I got in the car, I remember because I don't want to sound like I contradict myself. This is why I don't have no words towards the mumble rapper's success. You know what I'm saying? Get it however you get it, because Thug is one of the biggest people that they say started that mumble rap. But when I got in the car, they were playing Young Thug, my first time ever hearing him. And even though when I was listening to it, I was like, man, this man ain't talking about nothing. But this man ain't talking about nothing in the dopest way. Like, this man music is, I'm like, and I asked him, like, yo, who is this? I was like, man, I don't really like music like this, but it's something about this man music, like, this junk is tough. And they were like, oh yeah, that's our artist, that's Young Thug. I was like, okay. And every track they were playing, I was just falling in love with it. No cap. I was like, yo, I like this guy, man. I don't care. I like this guy. I don't know whether it's the beat, his flow, but I like this guy. Then got introduced to him. And I see that he had the streets, you know what I'm saying? He was real, he had the streets on lock. Boom, got in the studio with him, made a song called Admit It, right? It was the funniest thing in the world, because I was in a rush. So when I was in the studio making a song with him, I went in and I laid my verse down. And let these people tell that was in the studio. That's what they told me when I met back up with them. I went to the studio, did my verse. I had to be out, left. They said as soon as I left, Thug looked around the room and was like, that man killed me on my own song, didn't he? And they was like, yeah. Then Thug was like, well, shoot, I'm gonna put my verse first then, cause yada, yada, yada. So that's a compliment coming from Thug, So ever since then, man, me, Thug and Phil, like we've been tight, man. I support him 100% no matter what it is. I don't care what nobody has to say about Young Thug out there. It ain't about how he dress or what he does. I'm a fan of his talent. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. That's when stuff get messed up when you try to become fans of people's personal life and their personal decision. Well, I don't like that you choose to eat it here or you voted for this president. So, nigga, keep making your music. That's what I'm a fan of. Ain't a fan of you, I'm a fan of your music. You know? But yeah, that's how I oh, I'm sorry, I done drifted off. Anyway, we went to meet up with the people that took the pictures and all this crap.
Hmm.
And they sold us a dream, man. Like they was smooth talking, and then over the course of the years that we was with them, just you had good times, but at the same time, none of that stuff means nothing because you find out the real stuff, years later. And we left the right way. We could have left a long time ago, but like I said, we were young and dumb. We didn't want to get lawyers and having to pay court fees and all this stuff. So we waited till our 4 years was up, and that's why we had that period where we didn't drop anything. We wasn't trying to give them no more of our money and none of that. And that kind of hurt us a little bit because our fans were thirsty. They wanted more videos. But anytime we put an idea in their hand, they dropped the ball. So we was like, man, we just gonna have to wait till we get out of this contract to be really doing anything. So now that we're out, we just got out last year. Now that we're out, it's flooding. We're gonna flood the internet with more content, more of the songs, more of that original stuff. Got a lot of big things coming up too. So you're finna see a lot of the Hudson brothers and not just, Emmanuel or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And at some point, despite you doing your own thing online, you and your brother decided to go on America's Got Talent. Whose idea was that? Because I felt like you guys didn't need to do that.
I mean, I guess we being real here. Like, I don't mind airing out everything. It wasn't. I was just sitting at the house one day and I got a call from management at the time and they were like, yo, they wanted us, like the network and Sony and, they, no, never mind. Let's just say, cause I ain't read the contract, so I don't know if I tell the real truth, I'm gonna get sued for $500 billion and how that whole network work. So I'm gonna just say we got a call and we were in high demand over at the network. They wanted us to come on the show. And I was like, they want y'all to, I think y'all should do the Ratchet Girl anthem. I was like, no, that song is like 2 years ago. We're past that. And they was like, I don't know, man. It can rebirth y'all, man, that you can bring it back. So, boom, they flew us out there, and the day of the shoot, the day of the audition, the day of the taping, I hit Nick, and I was like, yo, do you think we should do this? And it was too late by then. He said, no. He was like, maybe 2 years ago when it was freshly started, but he said, y'all don't need it now.
Right.
And I told my manager and I told the people that was running the show, I was like, nah, we ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it. And then they was like, okay. They was like, it's your decision, but I'm gonna let you know now, if you pull out this late, pause, for I know you New York people. They said, if you pull out this late, pause, you're gonna be on NBC's radar for the wrong reason. And they was like, well, you don't, we have already bought you guys the ticket. We already put y'all in the hotel. And for y'all to like pull back now, like networks are not gonna trust you. So he's like, man, so what are y'all gonna do? And that's how they get you and stuff. I was just like, man, all right, man, whatever. Went on the show, did our thing. And it was funny because, they cut a lot of stuff out. So some of the stuff, a lot of people, they didn't see, like, while we was on that, after we were done, like, I think it's Howard Stern, that's what it is. Yeah, I think that's the one that had a problem. Was it Howard Stern?
Yeah, he's the one.
Howie
Howie Mandel is the one.
So Howard Stern, he was drilling us. Pause. He was just like, this song is stupid. You're funny, but you're not. I don't see this song going anywhere. And I'm just looking at him like,
it's already been somewhere.
That's my nigga. Do you know how old this song is? Like 70 million, like over 100 million some views. Like, what are you talking about? And Nick came. I wasn't gonna say anything. Nick came out there, and he was like, Howard, this song is huge worldwide. And Howard was like, oh, really? That many views? Oh, well, yeah, apologize. And I don't know if it aired, if I said this on air, but I know I told him this in person. I said, well, on the show, I was like, yeah, well, maybe if you get all that activator out your hair, clogging up your ears, you would understand what's going on. Like you would hear us more. And then he was like, oh, well, I apologize. I ain't know all that. And it was like, from that day on, when it aired, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was over with. That show like really just put Ratchet Girl Anthem back in the game, and it was just like we started getting calls to me, oh, we want you guys, and it was just like, So I'm glad we did make that move because it showed a lot. It showed a lot of people started showing a lot of love.
It just showed me when I was watching back again. It just showed me that like mainstream America does not know. They don't understand, black comedy because that like even when Howie was like whispering to Mel B like. What's an activator? Is that when you? He's like, yeah, the stuff you put in your hair. That's what he was saying. So I'm like,
oh no, they're used to it, but I'm not one of those type of people to be on here talking about how the government don't want the black man to do this and the white man don't want the black man, but because it's too much proof. Like they're used to it because on Saturday Night Live on the Jimmy, whatever his name is show, they do that. They dress up as women and they do their thing. And white America loves it. But soon as, we do it, they don't understand the terminology. They don't understand what's going on and all this stuff. And it's like, we all do the same stuff. You just pick and choose who you want to be entertained by. Mm-hmm. And it's just, that's just something you can't help.